When the Queen opened the Vestin outpost to the Guardians, we were all shocked. The only reason my fire team was able to go first is because the Queen summoned us on a special mission. There were 3 of us. I was paired up with 2 new Guardians, an Exo named Raven 13 of the Parax Order, and a Hunter by the name of Valerie. Mercury was a planet that was completely controlled by the Vex, and the Queen wanted more information about Osiris, the warlock that went missing years ago. Many of us speculated that he went to Mercury in search of the Vex and their power, but I honestly assumed that he died years ago. We went to the exact coordinates that were given, and we found a spot to land in a lighthouse. The first thing we noticed is that it was vacant and almost completely void of life. If it wasn't for some of the structures and the equipment that was there, I would have thought that no one lived there at all. We found many halls that we assumed it was for studying, and we even found the remains of what appeared to be a vanguard ship. We then found a room that reassembled an open bridge on the ship, and in the center of it was an ark similar to that of a religious relic called the Ark of the Covenant. Valerie inspected the ark along with all the shelves and bookcases with it. I noticed that when we landed, there was a cove or a cave or something that intrigued me that only I saw. I told Raven to come with me, and I told Valerie to come with me as well, but she was so determined to bring back something so she could study on Earth. I agreed to let her stay, but she promised to come back with us the second she had time. Me and Raven made a break for the cave. We wanted to know what was down there. There was a structure that was walkable, something sturdy enough to support both of us. When we reached what appeared to be the end of the cave, we saw something that was so disturbing it haunts me to this very day. We found 2 skeletal remains of what appeared to be humans, and next to them was a Vex skeleton. I assumed a battle took place here, but sometimes I wonder and think that maybe those 2 were down there with the Vex on purpose. We then heard a blood-curdling scream. No mistaking it. It was a woman's scream. We ran back to where Valerie was, only to find the most hideous sight I've ever seen. I found my friend completely cut in half, her entrails hanging by the mere muscles that were still hanging by her abdomen. Warlocks had a unique talent of healing, but nothing could have saved her. We then looked into her soulless eyes, and on top of the ceiling, directly above us, it was the Eye of Osiris, completely painted in her blood, and that made our stomachs churn. This drove our hearts into overdrive. We picked up Valerie's body so we could carry her back to my ship. I wouldn't want to leave her there and not give her a proper burial for her vanguard. But what we saw next instantly stopped our hearts. We saw a ghostly woman standing right in front of my ship, and she spoke. I am the disciple of justice. I am the disciple of judgment. I am the disciple of Osiris. She ran at Raven at a breakneck speed and screamed the most unholy scream ever heard. Raven died shortly after. The causes are still unknown to this day by me, but still, to see a man drop dead that fast was unreal. I rushed back to the Vestian outpost to tell my story to the other Guardians. Another fire team was dispatched to find Raven and Valerie and find this room I was talking about. But, to my dismay, nothing was found. No bodies, no blood, no rooms, and most disturbingly, no eye. Every night before I go to hibernation, I see that woman's face. I see her starting to scream at me, and I can feel the light draining from me. But I say this as a warning. If you ever go to the lighthouse on Mercury and you find this room, leave, or you might just end up like my fire team.